Hey y'all, welcome to the Filling Station. It's a new day, y'all. Another opportunity to either make money in the market or to just learn from the market, right? So let me go ahead and give my disclaimer, y'all. I am not a financial advisor. I just enjoy teaching people how to build generational wealth, and the stock market is, yes, just one of those avenues. So this video is for educational purposes only. With that being said, let's get started. So we are looking at the VIX, y'all, and as you can see, the VIX is finding support right here at this 1337. This is pre-market. 1337, $13.37. I don't know where I got that 130 from, but 1337 was our pre-market support, which is right here at the 50 EMA. Resistance was at 1345. So this is the gathering spot, right? So we are trading in this zone and have been trading in this zone for a while. Price went up. We made a high here of 1348, but as you can see, we came back to this area. So as of now, the 5 EMA is our resistance for the VIX, and that was around the, 1341 area. So are we going to bounce back to the upside, or are we going to go to the downside? That is the question, right? Again, I always say wait on your charts to lead you and trade what you see. So where are our trouble places for the VIX as of now? If we decide to go to the downside, if it breaks under this 1335 area, just know that we can come back and retest this 1332, 1331, 1328 is going to be an area of support for us for the VIX, or it could very well come back down to this 1325 area. So I would definitely watch those places. Now, can we go to the upside? Absolutely. Anything is possible again, right? So above 1345, we can come back and retest this 1350. Above the 1350, just know that 1362 is another area of resistance and a trouble place for us, as I like to say it, right? A 1368 is our ATR trailing stop, so it could move in either direction, and it wouldn't surprise me to have a move in either direction, right? Because that's what the market does. So we have to be ready for that move, right? So let's go to the SPY and see where we are today with the SPY. The SPY I have pre-market support here at 543.81 and 544.01. So price is trading in this zone here, and it looks as if it's trying to break out of the gathering spot, and just this gray line here at 544.13 is a level of previous support and or resistance, and as you can see, we're having trouble in this area here. SPY tested it, however, it got rejected and came back down, and we're resting right here on the 5 EMA. So is the SPY going to continue to the upside, or are we going to bounce, drop to the downside? That's something that we have to just wait and see, right? So our trouble places for the SPY as of right now, to the upside above is 544.01, 544.13, this ATR trailing stop at 544.19, and again at 544.43, 544.63, which brings us to the 200 EMA, looking at it on this 30-minute chart. That is to the upside. Now let's look to the downside. If we lose support here at 543.81, just know that we can come back and retest 543.71 again to this 200 EMA at 543.69, and below the 543.69 we can come back to the 543.52, and below that, just know that we're going to have trouble at the 543.29 area. I wanted to point something out with this SPY because yesterday it made a high of 546.95, and that was a previous gathering spot that we marked. Those are the gray shaded areas that you see here. Price came all the way back down to 542.21, which again is another gathering spot that we marked, right? So what's interesting is SPY went up a little bit. Price came back to this gray shaded area. It tried to bounce again, only to come back down to this gray shaded area. So I would definitely watch the SPY in the area of 542.77 down to 542.60, because it would not surprise me to see price come back to this area. And we will come back to the SPY because I like to do a recap. I normally look at SPY and Tesla often. So yeah, I would definitely watch this area. Let me get that on. I would definitely watch this area for the SPY, the 542.60 up to 542.77, or 542.77 down to 542.60. And as you can see, we are coming down now. We're breaking through those levels. So it looks like SPY, and this is a good example of breaking out of the gathering spot, right? So SPY was trading in this area, and we're breaking out of the gathering spot. Look at the 5 and the 50 is doing that pivot. It looks like it wants to cross to the downside. Again, this is the 30-minute chart, and the candle has not closed yet. However, that little pivot area here is something to be mindful of on a smaller time frame. And again, we are breaking out of this gathering spot. So it looks like SPY is choosing a direction, and we wait on confirmation before we enter that trade. So yeah, that was a good teachable place, right? So let's go to Tesla just to see where we are with Tesla this morning. And Tesla was trading in a gathering spot. As you can see here, price came back to this area, to this zone. That's why it's important that we mark the gathering spot, right? So I have pre-market support around the 182.72, and it looks like we are breaking above, out of the gathering spot, above 183.05, which would have been here. So Tesla is above the moving averages, all of the moving averages. It's above those, above the 5 EMA. We have broken through the 183.98. We've broken through the 184.12. The high of this candle is 184.38. So is Tesla going to go back to the upside, or are we going to go to the downside? Where are our trouble places? That's what I always like to ask. Where are the trouble places for Tesla? And as of right now, 185.21 is a trouble place, which is really close to the ATR trailing stop, 185.08. Above 185.08, just know we're going to have trouble here at 185.21. Again at 185.63. and 186.51. Just know those are going to be trouble places to the upside for Tesla. Again, anything is possible with Tesla. It can move in either direction. So where are our trouble places to the downside? So if we should come back and break under 183.05, just know that we are under all of the moving averages at that point, and we're going to have trouble here at 182.72, or again at 182.34, which is right where this 200 EMA is. If we should break this level, and I'm going to set my alert here, if we break under 182.12, just know that we could very well come back and retest. I'm going to put an alert here. We could very well come back and retest this 180.92 and 180.69, 180.42, and 180.01. Those are going to be trouble places to the upside and to the downside for Tesla. And y'all know Tesla does what it does, right? it moves the way it moves. I can only say that, right? It normally moves $6.92 per day. Again, that is in either direction. So if you trade Tesla today, y'all, I always say trade carefully. Do not rush into your trades. Allow your trades to come to you. So NVIDIA hit a low of 115.25 pre-market. So I need to definitely watch this area, because we could very well come back and retest that. And as you can see, price is definitely trading in a gathering spot. It's just trading in this zone here. So right now, pre-market support is at 120.62, and the resistance area is around the 121.46. Now price did come up to this 50 EMA here. However, we came here, got rejected, and came back down. So I would definitely watch if it breaks above this 121.44, 121.45 area. I would look to have trouble at 121.81. And if it should break above 121.84, I have an alert set to let me know that it has broken through that area. So where are our trouble places for NVIDIA, right? So above the 121.84, just know that we're going to have trouble at 122.23, again at 122.87, 123.82, 124.41, and if it makes it to the 126.59, which is the 200 EMA, looking at it on this 30-minute chart. So I would definitely watch those areas to the upside. Now to the downside, if it breaks under 120.15, just know that we're going to have trouble, because it could very well come back down, let's see, to 118.68. Below 118.68, we can come back and retest the 118.08. Below 118.08, we can come all the way back down to this area here of 117.01. Below 117.01, the ATR trailing stop is at 116.59. That is going to be a a strong support area for us. And if by chance we break this area, just know that 115.25 is in reach or within reach, let's say that. So NVIDIA is going to be interesting today. I always say, y'all trade what you see and do not rush into those trades. And when it goes against your why, get out. Live to trade another day, right? So we are looking at AMD, and AMD is just interesting, y'all. And I know sometimes my charts look a little bit congested, and it's only because I mark support and resistance areas a lot, right? So looking at AMD, our pre-market support was here at 160.75 and resistance here at 161.02. And we've been trading in this zone, right? So right now we are under the 5 EMA, which is, let's see, at the 160.83 area, 160.82 area. We're under the 5 EMA, and we are finding support here at the 160.75. As you can see, price came down to this area, and this is where it's been holding it up, or the support area. Yes, it did come back and retest this 20 EMA, which is kind of hard to see here, 160.68, and the 50 EMA, which is at 160.64. So those are really close to one another. So it came and tested those areas, but it bounced from there. So right now our trouble place is at 160.58. If we break the 160.58, we could very well come back down to this 160.39, and again under the 160.39 we could come back and retest 160.24. Below 160.24 we can come back to the 160.08, which is the 200 EMA. So if we break the 200 EMA, we could very well come back down to this area of 159.87. Below 159.87, just know we have trouble at 159.51. And it brings us back to this 159.24. And it's interesting how the AMD came all the way down to this 159.24 area at the 4 o'clock candle here, and only to bounce back to the upside. So this area here it was found as support. So it wouldn't surprise me to see it come back to this area. So I would definitely watch the 159.24 area for AMD, because it has tested that pre-market. And again, I always say, y'all, anything is possible in the market. Don't rush into those trades. And we do have an inside day candle, which is Google, and I'll just give the trigger for that, right? So if Google breaks above 182.12, just know that 182.54 is the target. Now to the downside, if Google breaks under 180.26, then the target to the downside is 178.01. And let's see how much Google normally moves on a daily basis. That is $3.06, and that's GOOG. It is an inside day candle. I always say trade carefully, and looking at it on this 1 hour chart, it looks like we've been trading in a gathering spot, so we could very well, I would say, it's going to move, right? We could very well have that strong move out. Let me say that. So right now, the pre-market support is here at 180.84, and resistance is here at 181.42. So if you trade Google today, I always say trade carefully. Just know that we are trading in this zone, looking at it on this 1 hour chart, and it could move in either direction. So what I normally do is set my alert above this or below this, in order to let me know that it's breaking out of the gathering spot. Now, if I was trading it as an inside day candle, I would set my alert above this area here, which is above the 182.12, to let me know that my target is within reach at the 182.54. If it breaks under, my alert will go here to let me know that we're under a level of support, which would have been that 180.84. Only that, that our downside target of 180.26 is within reach. So again, yeah, so I like looking at inside day candles. At one, it gives me a watch list, and it lets me know where, I could possibly trade the stock to. Where's my support? Where's my resistance? So yeah, I enjoy looking at those, right? So let's go back to the SPY just to do a recap, y'all. And we're going to go up to a smaller time frame, so it's a little bit less congested. So it looks like SPY came down and found support here at this 20 EMA. We came down, broke through it. The low of this candle is 544.03, which our 220 EMA was at 543.67. We came down to 543.63. We bounced from there. So Are we going to go back to the upside, or are we going to continue to the downside? As you can see, it looks like price is trying to make its way back to the gathering spot. I would definitely pay very close attention to this 5 and this 50. Is it going to cross to the downside, or is it going to pivot? And that's what I call a pivot here. Is it going to pivot and take us back to the upside? That's something to be mindful of. Y'all, do not rush into your trades, right? Allow your trades to come to you and trade what you see. So y'all, I hope that everyone have a very productive day, a very profitable day today. And I always like to leave you with this: be blessed as well as a blessing unto others. Until next time.